I was often told about how awesome recycling is. Many of us have heard the phrase reduce, reuse, recycle, and have seen the 3 arrow symbol behind me. It's a genius system, as once something enters it, it is forever in a cycle of reproduction. It's an environmentally friendly process. While keeping plastics out of ecosystems is a great idea, doing the same with people who are incarcerated is not. I study what's known as the cycle of reoffending, and I find that it's similar to the idea of recycling. When a person goes to prison, they don't come out reformed and ready to contribute to society. Instead, we're seeing that they become trapped in a cycle of release and imprisonment. They cannot get out of it. When prisoners have reduced access to social programming and we reuse tactics that are not working, we end up with the recycling of human beings in our criminal justice system. And unlike recycling plastics, this is not sustainable, and it must be addressed. I'm part of a team working to tackle this problem through the University of Alberta Prison Project. We are conducting interviews and surveys in Western Canadian provincial institutions with 800 incarcerated people, and we'll follow up with them 6 times post-release from prison. This is the first systematic study on barriers to reentry in Canada, and will tell us what challenges formerly incarcerated people face and why around half of them end up back in prison. For example, consider John, who I interviewed on his day of release at age 28. Having first been incarcerated at 19, the longest stretch of freedom John had known was a mere 3 months. Shockingly, he told me about his intentions to return to prison. Why? Because he needed urgent dental care for a tooth abscess, a service only accessible to him in prison due to the high costs on the outside. Despite having a dental appointment scheduled for the very next day, this critical aspect was overlooked in the decision to release him. Trapped in the cycle of reoffending, Stats Canada tells us that each year of John's incarceration costs Canadian taxpayers an average of $119,000. However, if we choose to invest in social and correctional community services aimed at addressing John's needs, we can reduce this cost to $31,000 a year. With almost 3,000 people incarcerated in Alberta alone, the stakes are not just human, it's also economic. Through our research, we will identify effective social services, pinpoint areas for improvement, and create the first evidence-based policy recommendations to end the recycling of human beings in our criminal justice system. Thank you.